You ever walk away from a conversation and suddenly feel confused, like somehow the other person twisted everything? You started the conversation calm, clear about what you meant, but by the end, you're the one apologizing. You're the one doubting yourself. That feeling has a name: manipulation. And manipulators are everywhere. In friendships, in relationships, at workplaces, sometimes even inside families. They pressure you, they guilt-trip you, they twist situations to their advantage. And after dealing with them for a while, many people start believing something dangerous. That person is just too strong to deal with. But here's the truth most people never realize. Manipulators are not powerful. They are dependent. Dependent on your reactions. Dependent on your explanations. Dependent on your emotional responses. Because manipulation only works when someone keeps playing the game. But the moment you change one behavior, something surprising happens. The pressure weakens. The manipulation stops working. And suddenly, the manipulator begins to back off. Not because they suddenly became kind, but because they realized something important. You are no longer easy to control. So in this video, we're going to talk about why manipulators back off when you do one powerful thing. A mindset shift, and a few quiet behaviors that instantly make manipulation lose its power. Because once you understand this, the way people treat you will start changing. So let's start with the first thing manipulators secretly rely on. The first thing that makes manipulators back off is when you stop over-explaining yourself. This is something manipulators quietly rely on. They say something that pressures you. They question your decision. They make you feel like you need to justify yourself. And most people fall into the same pattern. They start explaining everything. Why they made that choice, why they said no, why they need time. Long explanations, long justifications, trying to prove they are reasonable. But here's what manipulators understand very well. The more you explain, the more material they get to twist. They interrupt your explanation. They question your reasons. They turn your words against you. And suddenly, the conversation becomes a trap. But something powerful happens when you stop playing that game. When someone pressures you, and you respond simply, "I'm not interested," or "That doesn't work for me." No long explanations, no emotional defense, just calm clarity. At first, manipulators may push again, because they expect the old pattern. But when they realize there's nothing to twist, nothing to debate, nothing to control, the manipulation loses power. Because confident people don't need to over-explain their boundaries. And manipulators know something important. People who speak with calm certainty are much harder to manipulate. So remember this simple shift. Clarity is stronger than explanation. And when you stop explaining everything, manipulators start looking for easier targets. Now, the second thing that makes them back off is something even more powerful. The second thing that makes manipulators back off is when you stop reacting emotionally. This is something many people don't realize. Manipulators don't just want control. They want reactions, anger, frustration, defensiveness, because emotional reactions give them power in the conversation. When you get angry, they say you're overreacting. When you defend yourself emotionally, they twist the situation. And suddenly, the focus shifts away from the real issue. But something powerful happens when you remove that reaction. When someone tries to provoke you, and you stay calm, No raised voice, no emotional argument, just steady energy. It creates confusion for the manipulator because the emotional fuel they expected never arrives. Imagine someone throwing a spark, but there is no fire to catch it. Eventually, the sparks stop. Because manipulation depends on emotional chaos, and calmness removes that chaos. This doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. It means you respond with control. Because emotional control is one of the strongest signals you can send. It tells people something important. You cannot be easily provoked. And people who cannot be provoked are extremely difficult to manipulate. Now, the third shift is where things become even more powerful. The third and final thing that makes manipulators back off is when you become comfortable walking away. This is where the real power shift happens, because manipulators often rely on one assumption. They assume you will stay in the situation, stay in the argument, stay in the conversation, stay in the toxic dynamic. They expect you to keep explaining, keep defending, keep trying to fix things. And as long as you keep doing that, they maintain control. But something powerful happens when you remove that option, when you calmly decide, this conversation is not worth my peace, and you step away. Not dramatically, not emotionally, just quietly. Because walking away sends a very strong message. It tells people that your time is valuable, your attention is limited, and your peace is not negotiable. Manipulators recognize this signal immediately, because once someone is willing to walk away, control becomes impossible. And manipulators don't waste energy where control is impossible. They move on. They look for easier targets, people who still react emotionally, people who still over-explain, people who are afraid to leave. So remember this final idea carefully. Confidence is not about winning every argument. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is simply knowing when to walk away. And the moment you master that, manipulators start losing interest in targeting you. Now let's connect all of this to something extremely important: your time, your focus, and how people learn to respect both. But here's the most important thing to remember after everything we discussed. Manipulators don't stop because they suddenly become kinder people. They stop when their tactics stop working. And in this video, we talked about 3 powerful shifts that make that happen. First, stop over-explaining yourself, because confident decisions don't need endless justification. Second, stop reacting emotionally. When the emotional reaction disappears, the manipulation loses its fuel. And third, be comfortable walking away. Because the moment someone knows they cannot control your attention, they lose the ability to control the situation. And when these 3 things come together, something powerful happens. Your presence changes. People start sensing your boundaries, and manipulators quietly realize something important. You are no longer an easy target. So remember this idea moving forward. Strength is not loud, it's calm, it's clear, and it's controlled. And the more control you have over your reactions, the harder it becomes for anyone to manipulate you. Stay aware, protect your peace, and keep building a stronger mindset. I'll see you in the next video.